Hey everyone, today we will go over how to create a HTTP server in Node. We will not be using Express, rather it will be purely Node with its built-in HTTP library. In front of you there are two pieces of code. The one on the left is more beginner friendly, that doesn't use callback syntax. And then the one on the right is more advanced with omitment of function creations. Now, at its core, what each of these codes does is, number one, create a server instance, and number two, turn it on by calling a listen method and providing a port to listen on and a server startup function. This might be a bit confusing at the beginning, especially if you're starting from somewhere like this. Number one, what is a port? Number two, what is this create function? Why do we have these specific parameters? And then again, why exactly is this? Why do we write all this? And the answer partly is in what is happening under the hood. Essentially, when somebody, a client, sends a message to a server saying that I want this website, what they're sending is an HTTP request, and a server then responds with a message saying yes, you can view it, or no, you can't view it. JavaScript is a high-level language. However, it's not high-level enough that you'll be able to create this using vanilla JavaScript. You have to import an external library that was written by somebody. And what essentially is happening is that you have a const server, you have a const request, and then const response in the code. And then once you declare this in the code, then you have these variables in the code to reference. And then you can, so for example, you can do if request equals, let's say, get, this is me making things up, then do this, if that, and then you can say response equals something. So in order for you to write a server code, you need to be operating on something, and this something, it is just called a server, a request, and a response. So request would be representing thing that a user sends. Response would be a thing that you would send to the client, and then a server would be something that listens to them. You can't just say, hey, listen to anything. You need this server. This is a physical thing. We need a port to listen on, and that's why and this is where HTTP library comes in. It allows us, it essentially provides all of these. We don't need to create them from scratch by referencing a create server function. So by referencing create server function, we have something that we can reference as a server, and after that we can listen to it. Now, we are not directly provided by the request and response objects. However, we would put a function, our request listener. We will say, hey, we know that we waiting for a request and response, and that's why can you do these operations on request and then on response, and then one of these would be to end the response, essentially send it to the client. In terms of what methods are available, what other things are available on the server instance, for example, right, on the request. So we are not using request here. On the response, here we're using end. There is also a set header method we can use. That would be for another part. But yeah,